Marcelo here, and this is why it's so important that you only want to run midline triple option when the D gap player takes the quarterback. Why it's so important. Because what happens is the whole reason you want to run a triple option is to get the ball pitched. Now, when this is number one, this is number two, and like you get a 50 defense here, yeah, it's great because you don't have to block that guy. But here's a situation that you'll see in high school far more than you see in college. As a matter of fact, American Football Monthly says it's the most common thing you'll see. You'll get a 3 technique to one side, an A-gap player to another side. Then, of course, you get a 5 technique and an overhang player. Okay. Most common thing you're going to see at the high school level is some type of 4-2 defense. That's been the standard in high school football. American Football Monthly's done surveys on this for years. That's the most common thing you're going to see. Okay. So what happens is you call mid-triple. So he takes the dive, he takes the quarterback. Great. They're doing what you want. But now you got a 9 technique on the line of scrimmage. The A-back twirls and has to block him. So now what happens is now they're doing exactly what you wanted to do, but now you go to pitch the ball, and this A-back's running into a 9 technique. So what ends up happening is then what happens is he can't get leverage, he winds, he makes the tackle. Or he drives him back and makes the tackle. This is why it's so important that this guy takes the quarterback. That you want to run mid-triple when that guy takes the quarterback. You absolutely want to make sure that they're taking the dive. Number 1 takes the dive. In this case, even number 2 is coming downhill. And that it's a pull read. But you want to make sure the D-gap player is coming down to take the quarterback so you can get the ball pitched. Because if he's coming downhill, it's an easy block for the A-back. He's out of position. The ball gets pitched, and you're on your way. In my observations with Air Force and conversations with Air Force past players and coaches, they said we only run mid-triple if this guy is coming downhill. He's no longer the edge setter. They're trying to run this guy over the top to take the pitch, and this guy's taking the quarterback. That's why we run it. That's why we run it. We don't run it to run it. So why running mid-triple versus a D-gap player on the quarterback is so important. You want the D-gap player, whoever that is, to be taking the quarterback. That's when you run mid-triple. Now, I'll get this question. And I actually had this question this past week because in Canada, certain areas of Canada, they play spring football. And I had a client who literally went an entire game without running mid-triple. And he goes, is that normal? I go, well, did the D-gap player ever come downhill to take the quarterback? He said, no. He always ran out toward the pitch. I go, good job. And he goes, well, we did win, and we averaged 11 yards per play on trap, and we averaged 5+ yards per play on zone dive and rocket. I said, great. Keep doing it. Remember, the whole point to doing this is to get more wins. Okay, if they don't want to play you like a college is going to play you with the triple option, that's a them problem. So if this guy wants to be the guy to always jump the pitch, great. You just stick to the script. And the script, I've covered it ad nauseum. You can watch other videos. There's plenty of videos on this YouTube channel where you can see it. But you do not want to run mid-triple unless the D-gap player takes the quarterback. Okay, or comes downhill and is no longer the edge setter. Because that's how you get the ball pitched and you get it on the edge and you have success. Right. Mid-triple is designed to beat the blood stunt. Absolutely. 1 takes the dive, 2 takes the quarterback. But when you have a situation like this, see, the key is not necessarily just the blood stunt. The key is when the D-gap player takes the quarterback. This is an important clarification lesson for you out there that are watching this. It's when the D-gap player takes the quarterback and no longer is the edge setter. That is when you run mid-triple. And yes, you may go through an entire game where they don't do that. Oh, freaking well. Your offense will be statistically more effective. And as we've covered ad nauseum, how it all works, how to call the game, That's what needs to happen. D-gap player on quarterback equals mid-triple. So whoever's setting the edge, if he no longer sets the edge because he's got to come downhill to try to blow up the triple option, that's when you run mid-triple, get the ball pitched, and off you go. If he's running up the field trying to play the backside A-back, why are you running any type of mid-triple? Why wouldn't you put the third guy in the surface in, go down, kick like Air Force does, and take advantage of that guy running outside to the pitch, using his momentum against them, and now you got him by the you-know-what. So that's how it goes. You always want, and Air Force does this now, they always trap the player who decides not to go in toward the ball. So if this guy's coming up the field, they're going to trap him. And that's been probably the biggest play they've had in the last 3 years. And you want to be able to do that. Because the whole purpose is, if they're not attacking your midline triple option, if they are not coming toward the line of scrimmage, you don't have a triple option. There are better plays to run. I had that told to me by an Air Force player and coach in 2020. He says if they do not attack your triple option by moving toward the football, there is no triple option. There's better plays to run. Now that's hard for a lot of you Paul Johnson guys like me. And believe me, I've had to recondition myself. But guys, I'm going to say this again. I said this to one of my closest friends last night. Air Force is doing things better now than Paul Johnson ever did. Air Force just won 76% of their games in the last 4 years. Paul didn't do that. Paul's record at Navy was 60%. His record at Georgia Tech was 57%. But if you want to compare apples to apples, he won 60% of his games at Navy. Air Force just won 76% of their games. So they got things figured out a little bit better. And you, listen, I've said this in other videos, there is no bigger Paul Johnson fan than me. I mean, I love that man for what he did. But guys, Air Force is doing things better. And it's a little different. But the good thing is, they're doing it under center. They're doing it the right way. And when they establish the zone dive, they win. Every single freaking time. So, point of the video is, run mid-triple when the D-gap player takes the quarterback. Coaches, you want to win more games in 2023? Call me. Triple Option Football Academy camps will show you how. So will the Triple Option Football Academy. You're worn down with these tough economic times. Triple Option Football Academy is $9.97. You get it for 2 years. You'll learn how to do what Air Force does the right way the first time. Later.